Hey guys, it's Super here, and today I wanted to go through whether you should go for Apsara. So, Apsara is the newest limited time hero who came out for Chinese New Year, and actually you already should have one copy from over here, in her time limited temple where you get one copy of her. So, some people may be wondering whether she's worth getting to exclusive 1 to 3, and this is what this video is for. But first of all, I want to go through the other characters in her banner, because you always need to expect the worst case scenario where you don't get her. You want to see if the other options you get are good. And thankfully, all of these 4 characters which are not Apsara are all good, so even if you don't manage to get her, you will still get something very strong. But of course, the video is Apsara, and I'll focus on the main parts of her skills and her exclusives. So I actually just managed to get her exclusive 3, and I tested her, and I have quite a good idea of what she needs and where she's good at. So first of all, she's Sunset Sage's Bloom Up and Support. And the main part about her, in fact the most important part by far, is her Special 4, where she gains this momentum buff and records damage dealt by your allies. And once the enemy attacks, it deals this damage recorded to the enemy. So how this works is, let's say you have Apsara and one other character which does damage, let's say Lance. So let's say you use Apsara's Special 4 skill and you get this momentum buff, and your Lance does 10 million damage. What Apsara does, it will record 30%, 24 plus 6 over here, 30% of the damage dealt, and the next time the enemy attacks, it will do that amount of damage recorded. So Apsara uses Special 4 skill, you get momentum buff, your Lance, let's say, does 10 million damage. The next time the enemy attacks, the boss will take 3 million damage, which is 30% of the 10 million. She also has the Resonance buff to the same skill, and this just increases her damage recorded from 30% to 50%, so 41 plus 9. And so, the same scenario, you use this Resonance skill, Lance does 10 million damage. The next time the enemy attacks, Apsara will help deal an additional 5 million damage. The Resonance skill also increases the turn meter for your allies by 20%, which is nice to have, but obviously not the main part of her kit. Another thing I want to go through before I look at her exclusives is how to get the Resonance status, because I've seen a lot of confusion in this area. So first of all, she gets her Resonance points by just taking turns. As you can see, at the end of any ally's turn, she gets 1 Resonance point. So this should take about 2 full turns, as in each of your characters attacks twice, and then you will be able to get her Resonance status. But the way to actually upgrade the Resonance skills is slightly different for this character. Once you fill up the Resonance points to 10 with your max bar, you will get an extra turn with no cooldowns on any of your skills. So let's say I enter Resonance status, you will see a page like this where you have all your skills you can use in an extra turn, and according to what you choose, it will upgrade that skill specifically. So during the extra turn, once your Resonance bar is filled, if you choose your Special 4 skill, then your Special 4 will be upgraded. Or if you choose your Special 2 skill, your Special 2 will be upgraded. So I see some people during this extra turn, they use their Special 2 skill, especially if you're playing on auto mode, it does this by default, the Special 2. And what this does is it will upgrade the Special 2 instead of the 4, and people hence wonder why they are unable to use the Resonance Special 4. So if that's a little complicated, the main thing you need to know is always use your Special 4 when you can. Now, let's go to her exclusives, and they are all quite impactful in their own ways. So I'll go through the main parts. So for exclusive 1, the main part about it is that when she has momentum, this is the damage recording buff. It increases skill damage for all allies by 30%. So of course this just helps to increase the damage of the team, which is nice. Next, when she's immune to control effects, she increases the turn meter by 10% for herself and the ally with Kinara. So this is the Kinara buff over here from her Special 2, and it affects herself and Exclusive affects herself and the ally of Kinara, which is the one with the highest initial attack. So this turn meter increase is of course nice to have, but the most important part of exclusive 1 is definitely the increased skill damage. Now her exclusive 2, and this is the one which I believe is the most important. So that is because of this part over here, where when she has momentum, once again this is the damage recalling feature, it is increased by 30% of the original. What this means is that originally, before exclusive 2, the amount of damage Apsara deals should be anywhere between 30% and 50% of your team's damage. But with exclusive 2, this will be from 60% 30 plus 30 to 80% 50 plus 30. So of course, 30% increase in the damage recorded by her is extremely significant. In fact, with exclusive 2, this makes her regular special 4 record more damage than her exclusive 0 or 1 resonance, which would be 50%. And if that was confusing, basically what this means is, let's say in an entire fight, your other character does 10 million damage, your Apsara without exclusive 2, you can expect to deal anywhere between 3 million to 5 million damage. But with exclusive 2, you can expect her to deal anywhere between 6 million to 8 million damage. And of course, that's quite a significant difference, it's almost double. Lastly, we have our exclusive 3, and this is more PvP focused, and the most important part is that when she has the highest speed among all her allies, she starts with her resonance enhancement status and gets 30% turn meter. And this is important because in PvP you want to try and get your resonance special 4 as fast as possible, which her exclusive 3 helps her do. And this is because having her higher damage recorded allows her to get past very annoying heal teams or shield teams like MJ, Sun Wukong, Marie, things which just seem unkillable. Apsara will help you one-shot the enemy if you deal enough damage through the damage recording feature. This exclusive 3 also allows her to steal turn meter once per each of Apsara's turns, which of course is good, as if your teams are evenly matched, usually the team which takes more turns is going to win. So this is just an additional buff which helps us become stronger in PvP content. So do I think Apsara is worth summoning for? Well, I would say it depends on what your focus is. At exclusive 1, she's like exclusive 0, which you should have since she's free. She is actually already very strong for PvE content, and of course this is only improved when she's exclusive 2. And that is why I would say that you should only summon for her if you can get her to exclusive 2 minimum, because this is the main part where she becomes much stronger for both PvP and PvE. The 30% increase in damage recorded is just really significant. If you can only get her to exclusive 1, I would say don't bother, and instead save your miracles and gems for the future LTEs which come out. And if you are really PvP focused and have the ability to, then you should get her to exclusive 3, where she becomes much stronger for PvP content. Let's also go through her Echo. And her Echo is really strong on many characters. So, first of all, it's HP rate. So, by default, this is pretty strong for any of your shielders, but of course you want it primarily on Apsara. So, the entire Echo is good, but I'll just go through it slowly. First of all, if the character can increase allies' turn meter or reduces enemies' turn meter, you get increased speed. And of course, speed is king in this game. Whenever you can increase your speed, you want it. So this by default on its own is already very good. And next, we have this feature which pretty much only works on Apsara right now, since she's the only Sunset Sage character with resonance. and it grants Tenderness on allies and Intoxicated on all enemies. And what both of these effects does is just simply affect your own and enemy turn meter. As you can see, Tenderness, which is applied on allies, blocks additional turn meter reduction effect received, so it reduces the amount of turn meter reduction you get from enemies, which is good. And the amount it stops from reducing depends on the star level. And Intoxicated is applied to enemies, which prevents them from increasing their own turn meters up to a certain amount. So the first part is just good in general to increase speed. The second part helps to control yours and enemy turn meters, which of course is strong, especially in PvP content. So her echo is extremely good. So overall, as I said, at Exclusive 0 she's already good, but she's kind of a strange character because since she doesn't do any damage of her own and only does damage based on the rest of your team, she's kind of a character which is good when your team is good. So as a new player with weaker characters, she may not seem very strong, but chances are you will use her eventually for PvE content as you get stronger. Again, if you want to get her exclusives, bare minimum I would say is Exclusive 2, and for PvP, Exclusive 3. Otherwise, just save your miracles for the next character which comes out. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if this was useful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.